To celebrate the 20th anniversary of the Naruto anime, Bandai Namco and Cyber Connect 2 decided to create another Storm game titled Naruto x Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections. The game welcomes us with an amazing opening intro which includes almost all the important fights in the Naruto Shippuden, even Boruto as well. This is very well done. The only issue I have is that Team Guy is absent. Some characters from this team had more impact than characters who appeared in the beginning. The last Storm game was released on February 4th, 2016. Later on they made a huge DLC pack titled Road to Boruto pack, which was released in 2017 on February 3rd. So we patiently waited almost 7/8 years for the new Naruto Storm game. Was it worth waiting almost 8 years for this game? In this video review I'll try to answer this question. The game includes History Mode, Special Story Mode, Free Battle Mode, Online Battle Mode and Collection Mode. And before I start review each mode, I want to talk about the main menu first. Compared to the old Storm games, not including Storm 1, whenever you select a certain mode, it gave you a unique animation. In this game it doesn't exist. There is no smooth transition when you switch between modes. It happens so fast you can tell that they cut the budget from this as well. Besides, the character models don't blink at all. And to me, Naruto has the same smile for different modes, which is kinda creepy, if you ask me. Okay, let us start with History Mode. And don't let this very wholesome picture fool you, because this mode is a complete garbage. It has so many problems that I don't know where to start. The navigation in this mode is such an eyesore. If you compare this to Storm 4, it's like a night and day. Storm 4 had in the background beautiful arts, and what we have for this game, screenshot from the anime and PlayStation 3 main menu background, it's such a lazy thing to do. The way they advertised this mode made us believe that it would feature all fights from Storm 1 to Storm 4. Let's say we didn't understand the trailer, okay, no problem, but you still cut so much from previous installments that it's just laughable. Removing all the 3D cutscenes from previous games and replacing them with the awfully done slideshows, it just blows my freaking mind. These slideshows are even worse than in Storm 4, it's less dynamic. Not only they removed 3D cutscenes, they also removed failed quick time events for all boss fights, even for those who had one. Speaking of boss fights, this mod only includes in total 10 boss battles, which are very poorly done. The difficulty of the boss fight has been significantly reduced. It's like a child's play. Previous Storm boss fights at least had some challenge into it, but this one is just for babies. For example, in Storm 1 fight against Shukaku, he punches the ground fast and you had a couple seconds to respond. But in Storm Connections, you can go make a dinner, watch a movie, take a bath, and then he lands a punch. The way he used his air bullets in Storm 1, it was more like a barrage in different directions. But in Storm Connections, it's just one charged air bullet in the straight line. As I said, all boss fights are easy now. They at least could have let us choose the difficulty in History Mode. Some boss fights are even downgraded. For example, Naruto vs Sasuke fight, they entirely removed flashback fight, which made this boss fight unique. Fight between Sasuke and Itachi, when you shuriken clash, Sasuke has zero animation when you don't mash the button. In Naruto vs Pain, while you are in Ninetales form, you can't use dash. In Kabuto's boss fight, they cut out some moments and edited them in a really bad way without any valid reason. In the final Naruto vs Sasuke fight, you can't walk on the walls, even though in Storm 4 you could. And the worst part is that they didn't make this fight with new combat system, so you can't expand your combos like you're supposed to do in this game. It plays exactly like in Storm 4. These are only a few examples. I didn't want to make this list too long. The boss fights are now split into phases, and I'm not a huge fan of it. It makes the experience overall worse in my opinion. Censorship is out of hand in this game. I know in Storm 4 we had a similar problem, but in Storm 2 and 3 we didn't have any issues. A small amount of blood won't hurt this game. The best example is Itachi's last moment, when he pokes Sasuke for the very last time. The black ink overall looks ridiculous. And now let's talk about the elephant in this room, the English voice dub. Me and my friend Shonen Games since day one talk about this issue. And you probably heard some English dub lines like this one.
Did that wake you up?
This one.
It's time to unleash the power of God.
And this one.
So long!
It's horrible, it's a dog crap. I don't understand how you could mess up so badly and why you didn't use the old voice lines from previous games, which sounded million times better than this abomination.
Don't underestimate me! Do not mess with me!
It looks like I'll have to work a bit harder. I guess I'll have to be tougher on you.
Why can't you understand? Sasuke! Why can't you understand? Sasuke!
Not only does the English dub sound like this, the other dubs sound awful as well. For example, Portuguese dub, Kushina sounds like a robot here.
Fica aqui. Não vai fugir, tá? Naruto.
It's not a human voice. Some people even say Japanese dub sounds kinda off as well. There is some speculation that Bandai Namco used AI to replace voice actors' voice lines, that's why they sound like this. Even IGN made an article about it, you can check it out by yourself. I will say it one more time, they could have just imported voices from all Storm games into this one. I don't understand why they didn't do this. It will save them the time and resources. The worst part is that it applies to a free battle mode as well. So you can't escape this problem unless you switch to a Japanese dub. I truly hope in the future they will fix this issue. Quick update, Bandai Namco responded to IGN about AI voice and they declined it. Here's what they say. Regarding the reports about several voice-over lines in Naruto Boruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections, Bandai Namco Entertainment can confirm that the lines in question were not AI generated, but the result of inconsistency during the editing and mastering process, the spokesperson said. We regret that this raised a concern with Naruto fans and the voice acting community. We are currently working to fix the voice lines in question, which will be patched in the near future. I wonder how they're gonna fix it, because some lines in this game are just so bad. For example, Obito's Team Ultimate Jutsu with Madara, Haku's line, and etc. It's really bad. And I'm just begging Bandai Namco, if you are watching this video, if you somehow, I don't know, find this video, please, just import old voice lines from previous games in the story mode and the free battle mode. That's all I ask. Also, please bring back the old Pain's voice, he sounded way better in previous games, both for history mode and free battle mode. Thank you. Now let's talk about original story mode. The main reason I purchased the game is because of the original story, and I'm glad it didn't disappoint me. By no means it's not perfect, but overall enjoyable and wholesome story. The storyboard looks way better than we have in history mode, but not a Storm 4 level by no means. This mode feels like a movie, in a good way, and the new character Nanashi takes the spotlight, but I can't say the same thing about the main antagonist, Merce. He felt very bland compared to her. I won't go too into details, but in some part you have to re-experience Naruto's life for the plot, but this time through Boruto's perspective. And if you finish history mode first, you will get bored very fast. That's why I recommend you to finish special story mode and then history mode. This way you won't ruin your overall experience. Overall, I love this story. It made me tear up a couple of times, especially in the end. I'm glad they didn't spoil that much in the trailer. Now let's talk about what I didn't like. First, lack of boss fights. Officially this mode has only 2 boss fights. First is against Naruto and the second one is against Merce. with only 2 boss fights in the entire mode, and they were not that good, mediocre at best. Second, the lack of quick time events. When I said they removed quick time events from original story mode, some people accused me of spreading false information, and I guess I was right overall. No quick time events means that boss fights are kind like of free battle fights with some tweaks. I don't understand why they decided to make this way. Quick time events is a CyberConnects 2 specialty. That is what made Storm boss fights unique and fun. Third, Nanashi and Mertz not being a playable character. I made an entire video about it, and after playing and finishing the story, I really would love to play as Nanashi. There is also one character who appeared in this mode and had a really important role. You probably know who I'm referring to, Toneri Otsutsuki. Yes, he's in the game. He has a character model, but still after all these years, he's not a playable character, despite being asked all these years since Storm 4. Like Nanashi, he must be added to the base roster at no extra cost. But knowing Bandai, they will charge us even though the price for this game is not justifiable. That's all the negatives for the original story mode I have. Some people say we needed a free roam, but I knew they wouldn't do it, so I was not disappointed. Free battle mode. In free battle mode you can play tournaments, league, survival, practice and so on, but most of us going to spend time in free battle to play with our friends or family, and practice mode to come up with some new stylish combos for online battles. Before discussing the gameplay, I want to talk about the character select screen. It's quite disorganized now, with costumes each having their own slots. This doesn't make any sense since they have the same moveset, same jutsus. For instance, now we have 2 Hanabis, 4 Gaaras, and all Boruto era costumes have their own slots. It seems like an illusion to make us think we have more characters, when in reality they are the same characters with old movesets from Storm 2 that was released in 2010. Unlike Storm 4, we are not allowed to choose which jutsu we want to use for a certain character. It's all pre-selected. The only Naruto Storm game that allowed us to choose support characters jutsu was Storm 1. How come a game that was released 15 years ago does a better job than a game that was released 2 weeks ago? For example, I choose Sasuke and I want him to use Chidori, but for support characters I want Kakashi and Itachi. For Kakashi, I want him to use Fireball Jutsu, and for Itachi, Clone Jutsu. I selected it with no issues whatsoever. Why didn't they do the same thing in Storm Connections? Gameplay. The gameplay feels fast, thanks to a faster chakra gauge regeneration. This allows you to be on offensive most of the time. The new gameplay mechanics allows to start a combo from anything and create unique combo for each character. Even though it's a Storm game and we know how Storm game plays, it's a breath of the fresh air, which the majority of Storm players enjoy. A damage scaling feature has been added to limit the amount of damage a combo can do. As combo become longer, the damage dealt decreases. That way, if you run out of subs, the opponent won't kill you. Now all characters have second jutsu. By pressing triangle square, you will launch a jutsu. Don't be happy about it, because of the second jutsu, they sacrifice 2 things, tilts and chakra shuriken. Why tilts? Because all second jutsus are literally tilt moves or awakening actions. Some characters do receive a new jutsu, but unfortunately they are few. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of this, because instead of creating actual new jutsu for each character, they removed tilt moves and call it a day. Not all of them even returned in this game. Chakra shuriken is also a gun which we all used in online battles to apply pressure to opponents. In my opinion, they should have done like this. If you played Demon Slayer game, you will understand where I'm going. So, in Demon Slayer, characters have 3 skills. By pressing triangle, you activate the 4th skill. By tilting the analog stick and pressing triangle, you activate the 2nd skill. And by pressing R1 and triangle, you activate the 3rd skill. They just could use tilt triangle Sorkan combination for the 2nd jutsu. This way, they would have kept tilt moves, chakra shurikens, and we would still have a 2nd jutsu as well, and nothing will be recycled or removed. Online mode. Upon release, online matches run smoothly, but after a few days I experienced frequent lags, causing me to lose some matches. Currently, there are no private matches, endless or tournaments, but they promise to add these features with an update, but not having private matches on day one is ridiculous. Unfortunately, not everyone on Xbox can play online due to issue fighting matches. Some people report waiting up to 25 minutes to play some game. The good news is that this issue is being addressed and they're trying to fix it. Imagine paying $60 and not able to play online. You also can kick out the players from the lobby. If the player has a red bar connection, you have to face against him. It happened me at least few times. Such a basic feature and it's not available at launch. Now you can customize characters in Storm Connections. It's a returning feature from Storm Revolution, a nice welcome addition to this game. You can add scrolls, masks, dolls, whatever you like on your character, making him somehow unique. Collection mode. Here you can purchase everything that you want. Costumes, color palettes, voice lines, etc. I wish they also included ultimates and team ultimate jutsu, as well as 3D cutscenes from original story mode. The one thing that bothers me a lot is the prices. Yes, you can unlock by completing bonus objectives, but you literally have to grind to unlock all these collectibles, because this time around when you finish a match, you receive a really small amount of money. It's laughable compared to previous installments. Hopefully they fix this in future updates. Lastly, there are numerous bugs that were in Storm 4 and are still present in Storm Connections that need to be fixed. You can literally stop time like Dio, crash the game with Kaguya, Kawaki's force hit doesn't do a damage, this black thing over here, and many more. Also, when you use Awakening for Taka Sasuke, he doesn't have his Mangekyo Sharingan on. Sakura Boruto era costume has a small bug. When you use Awakening, the render icon changes to the last Naruto movie costume version. Lee and Choji Boruto era costume render doesn't change while in Awakening mode. Some stages are called Road to Boruto, even though it's a Boruto game. Chunin exam stage from the Boruto era and Ninja Wall tournament stage don't stream your fights like they used to do. Now, instead of stream, Chunin exam stage from Boruto era has a black screen, and in the Ninja Wall tournament stage, it's just a screenshot. They also removed the cute fox Naruto mascot after finishing the battle. It had a charm to the game, but now he's gone. You no longer can destroy buildings in this game and hear the most iconic sound in Naruto games. Please add the option to hide the reset button in training mode, as you did with the damage info display. It does cover a quarter of the screen. Thank you. This game has done so many things wrong and only few things right. It's really hard to me to recommend you this game because it has a barely new content to it. The price doesn't justify the offering. If you are a Naruto fan and want to experience Naruto's story, I highly recommend you to buy the Legacy Edition. It has more value and overall better experience. And sometimes you can get it dirt cheap. But until then, just wait for the sales. That's my advice to you. I'm going to give this game 4.5 out of 10. In my opinion, it's the worst Storm game by far. Removing all the 3D cutscenes, tilts, chakra shurikens, issues with English dub, bugs, and the lack of content says a lot. I hope this review
Wake you up!
and you can decide for yourself whether to buy or not. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I will see you guys next time.
So long!